Welcome back to Shum's Universe. So today, guys, we're going to go over how to become the most powerful version of your life path number. So there's a few things you have to look at. You have to look at what the optimum of success is for your given life path. And there's a few other factors that actually affect it a lot in regards to how you could reach that full potential of your life path. The first thing is you have to know the proper definition of each life path. Life path 1 is all about becoming number 1 at a given thing, a given subject. Whether that be you're a mathematician, you're an entrepreneur, that you do the best in your current business, your niche market, you're the best athlete. You got to figure out as a life path 1 where you're going to shine, put your ego there and detach your ego from everything else and have a sole focus on that. With that, you'll become the optimum of success as a life path 1. I'm going to get into more details afterwards. For life path 2, your ultimate thing is to figure out how to control your emotions and then also how to heal other people via the trauma that you've experienced. You guys are meant to transmute the negative experiences you've received emotionally from youth and then transmute that to a positive experience for other people as you get older in life. So it's a very, very important life path. A lot of people overlook the life path 2 and that's why they'll try to say, oh, life path 2 is just 11. It's like, no, life path 2 is very special in its own way. And 11 has similarities to it, but I'll go over the differences very shortly. Life path 3 is all about being recognized for your skill set and becoming notoriously famous for it. What does that mean? If you're a good dancer, you want to go on social media, you want to showcase your dancing ability, you want to maybe go Hollywood, you want to do something with your abilities, that's going to get you on TV or at least all over the internet. We have streaming now. You have these guys that do streaming that are more famous than movie stars now. Like, nobody really cares about movie stars as much anymore. That's a whole other given subject. But for my life path 3s out there, I'm not saying focus on fame, focus on your competence and your skill set. And then whatever it is that whether you do comedy, whether you're a vlogger, whether you're somebody who maybe you do good in sales, you just want to make sure that you're using your skill set, showcasing it, and then letting attention be your income revenue. Because you're going to find that the more followers you develop, the more people are your fans, or the more money you're going to get, and you're following your life path very naturally. But as I said before, with even the life path 1 and 2s, I'm going to get into more detail afterwards regarding how to go about doing that. Life path 4, you're here to find stability in your life, and that doesn't mean stability through money, it means stability through your own competence. 4s usually gravitate towards corporate jobs or situations where they overwork and are underpaid because they have a very low self-esteem and low self-confidence, which in turn leads to them manifesting just rubbing nickels together. They're not doing much. What you want to do instead is actually have a firm belief in yourself, and the only way to do that is to develop competence in a different subject matter. For all 4s, you guys should be working out for sure. Work your physical body. A strong body is a strong mind. And then putting that strong mind to something entrepreneurial or something that can actually develop you a good income. You guys do not need to follow your passion to be successful. 4 is one of the only numbers, just like the 8, which I'll get into shortly, that doesn't need to have a passion to actually get money. You can have no emotional attachment to what you're doing at all, and you can still make a lot of money. It's the wealthiest life path number. Life path 5 is all about showing other people how to be fearless, adventurous. It's the number of the entertainer. You guys are naturally charismatic, charming, and entertaining. To reach the optimum of your success, focus on your communication skills and how you dress. A lot of people you probably never heard that, but you should focus on your attraction the most, your swag as a 5, because you're already naturally beautiful, genetically wise. So you want to make sure you focus on that more by enhancing the way you look. And then you also want to focus on how you communicate, making sure it's the most effective. Life path 6 is about family and creativity. They say 6 is like, oh, the family number. 6s have family issues. Life path numbers are all about issues you're going to face. So most 6s will have family issues, whether it be through people trying to leech off them, or they're just in a situation where they're overly empathetic and people just like leech off their resources. What you want to do is either run a family-run business if you can, or a business with close friends, or get into something very, very creative in a sense of music, writing, composing, things like that's what works very well for you guys. To hit the optimum of success, what you have to focus on is boundary control. Meaning as a 6, all of you guys have the common issue, no matter what type of 6 you are. You have to focus on making sure people don't overstep their boundaries with you, and you actually make sure you put yourself first in most situations. Life path 7 is the life path of seclusion, isolation, learning. It's really the life path of mastery. You need to figure out what to master in life. Unlike the 1, you guys don't have to be number 1 at it openly, but you should definitely be the most competent person. Elon Musk is an interesting one. He's the perfect optimum of what I'm talking about because he's a 1 and a 7. So he's the 28th, and he's a life path 7 if I remember correctly. And with him, you can tell that he doesn't really care much for fame. it sort of came naturally to him because of his competence level. He's one of those people that's just a genius, did his thing, and then got famous for it. He's number one, so he wanted to be number one in a different sets of things, and he's done that. But more so than ever, he's more of an introvert type of person. You can see that very openly through him. So as a 7, to reach the optimum of your success, you want to focus on mastery over a given subject, and that mastery will then lead to the money. So don't focus on the money, focus on mastering something very specific. Life path 8. 8, you guys need to focus on money and business primarily, status, and karma. The first thing you need to worry about as an 8 to bring you to the optimum of success through the roof is thought, word, and action. If you can control the thoughts, your words, your actions every day, you will be just fine, because you then can control your karma. Saturn and the 8 will hit you when you go against karma, meaning when you're lazy, lethargic, you're not disciplined, you're saying you have these big ideals, but you're not working towards them each day. Of course, you're going to get crushed by your reality because you don't actually deserve it. So what you have to do is focus, make sure your thought hardens into vision, your words harden into planning, and your actions go into competent things that are constructive towards your vision. Once you live that out every single day and you run your life like a business, value exchange, meaning you don't interact with people unless it's about money, wealth, or health, you'll be just fine. I'll reiterate that, wealth or health. You shouldn't have a social life where you're just dealing with people and you're like, yeah, this is just my friends I drink a beer with or have a cigarette with, or my work friends that we used to, what do people do at work? They complain about work. They complain about why they're employed and how they're not getting paid, and Sally got paid more and Sally gets the better parking spot and all this other garbage. What you want to do instead is actually say, no, I need to only have friends around me that are doing their own business, or they help me with my business, or I have employees that are helping with my business, of course, because I'm compensating them. Your life should be literally a business. Everything you do, from a gym session to a conversation you have, should all be scheduled and regimented, have a strict to-do list. All these things need to be set in stone. Your 2 4s, you need to be more organized than the 4. There's a higher expectation on you. So make sure that you work like a 4, have the vision of a number 1 person, and put it all together. Life path 9, you guys are the most, I'd say, advanced singular digit life path, very mature. Life path 9s have a very big responsibility here. You're meant to influence the world in a very positive way. You have to figure out the way in which you're going to do that, which I'm going to get into after. Like I said, this is the first part of the video. As a life path 9, the optimum of success for you guys is becoming very ideological. Sorry, there's a B. It's becoming very ideological, and then knowing how to, I guess, give that message or convey that message to the world, whether it be through what you do or you directly convey it via social media and just get your voice out there. It's completely your choice, but you're meant to be a very influential person, and you have to choose a career that's going to give you that sort of mouthpiece to do so. Life path 11s, this is now the mature life paths. 11, you're meant to be the bridge. It's 2 1s, then a 2. You have to benefit yourself first before you can benefit other people, as in the 2. And you have to focus on your self-development when it comes to emotions. You're the 2 on steroids. The more you can moderate your emotions and control your thought and emotions, the more you're going to be able to manifest. Look at universal laws of attraction, law of opposites, and you're going to find law of polarities. And that's the key to your success and hitting the optimum of your life path. Life path 22, you guys definitely have a very, very tight relationship with your subconscious mind and with the Akashic realm. Whatever you view yourself as is what you're going to create in this reality. That's all of us, but you guys even more than other people. So you want to make sure you're directly focusing on what you want each and every day. You can't just simply have a vision board. You got to become that vision board. You got to actually reenact what your vision is, meaning focus on that thought for more than 15 seconds every single day. Meditate on it. Stew on it even if you're at work. Always just be obsessed with your given vision and make sure you see it through no matter what. The only way to hit the optimum of your success is by building something colossal, whether it be like a school, a corporation that people can see, or you leave behind an ideology of sorts that's immortalized. Life path 33, you guys are the master teachers. You guys are meant to leave behind something for sure. You guys are the optimum of legacy. So what that means is you guys are meant to either invent something that people have physical utility of, or just like the 22, you teach something that people then transpire and send off from generation to generation, and in turn you get immortalized. So that's part 1 of the video, guys. The life path numbers you guys understand. So if you're from 1 to 33, those are your life paths. Karmic debt numbers, use your common sense. If you're at 13, 14, 16, or 19, you fall within the singular digit numbers. Just minimize it to that and you get how to operate from there. When you look at, okay, how do I max out my life path? Because you'll look at certain 8s and you'll be like, okay, 50 cents a life path 8. Then you have like somebody like, if you guys know the YouTuber Jack Doherty, that's an 8. One guy's like a complete goofball. The next one is more serious gangster rapper. Why are they so different? They're different because of their birth numbers, right? You got 50 Cent, who is July 6th, I think 1975. It's 75 or 77, excuse me. But he's definitely a LifePath 8. So when you look at him, you start seeing, okay, he has artistic ability through the 6, and then he has a LifePath 8, which means money. He was doing a lot of things like selling drugs to make his money at first. But the 6 is what really transpired and then made him go into the more artistic element that he always had a natural inclination for. His nickname 50 Cent, looking at Chaldean numerology, is just a big 5. So of course he became an entertainer. Jack Doherty's more on the goofball side of things because he has a different set of numbers. So not to go too much into that, because I want to give you guys, instead of specific examples, what I'm trying to get at is you got to look at your birth number in relation to your life path number, then see, do they get along? Are they compatible for one? If they're not compatible, you're going to have a harder time with your career. If they are compatible, you're going to have an easier time. And then you got to know how to actually work them together, because there's another number that comes in there, which is called your expression number. Very specifically, the expression number, not the name number in Chaldean. The expression number in Pythagorean is going to be crucial to your success. The number that you're born, that's on your birth certificate, even if there's a typo on it, that number has the most semblance with your success out of every other number. The reason being is it's the bridge to accomplishing your life path. Me, I'm an expression number 14/5. It's a karmic debt. I know I have to work extra hard. Why you see me with like 1,700 videos out right now. I know that there's YouTubers out there that got 100 videos out, went viral, 100,000 subscribers. I know for me, I'll probably need 10,000 to 20,000 videos out to get 100,000 subscribers. That's completely fine. That's the way life works. You work harder and you get better as a result of it. With that 14/5, I understand that I'll do best in fact-based communication. Look what I'm doing. And then in speculative marketing, I do crypto, I do sport betting, I do stocks, I do all of that stuff too. So all that stuff is fun for me. But that I have a lot of success in comparison to when I was just working a job. Another quick story. I was working at a company named OnStar. You guys will definitely know it in America. I was working at their call center. I'm up here in Canada. And I didn't do that well in the general navigation department, which is what OnStar supplies. I did well when it came to actually selling OnStar packages to people because of that 14/5. I'm good at speaking. So as soon as I went to that department, I started making a bunch of money. Before that, I wasn't making much money at all. Why? Because I was just bored for one, and then two, with the 5, I wasn't doing anything that actually has any semblance with my expression number, and that's how I'm supposed to express myself in the world, so I didn't have any success. That's just how it goes. For you guys, what do you take from that? Your birth number is very crucial because it controls your psyche, so your how you actually naturally think. And then your expression number is your strengths and weaknesses. So once you understand your strengths and weaknesses fully, you then can use them for a career. You can use them to actually hit your life path. If somebody's an expression number 3 and a life path 9, then they should go on TikTok like a Charlie D'Amelio and become famous. If you're maybe a expression number 7, then you might be looking at something in your life path 9. You might be looking at like engineering or trades or something like that instead, depending on what your birth number is. So these 3 numbers, they coexist together, the birth number, the life path, and the expression, and they bring together how you can actually hit the highest echelon of your life path. The final piece to this is only in Chaldean, and it's not in Pythagorean, why I've now given an advanced numerology reading that's available. You'll see it on my list. That goes over both Chaldean and Pythagorean. It's going to give you the definition I'm about to give you now. The compound number that adds to your life path has equal importance to your life path. The strengths and weaknesses of those compound, like I'm a 35/8 in Chaldean, 17 in Pythagorean. I'll use the Chaldean as the example because I view it as more accurate. The 3 and the 5 strengths and weaknesses is like 3 is good with speaking, communication as a whole. 5 is entertainer as well. They both have a problem with laziness, so I've really exercised the point that I cannot be lazy. I always have a to-do list because I know that I have a natural affinity to be lazy. So in turn, I always push myself harder and harder to make sure I hit the workaholic archetype of the 8, right? So even though that 35 is there, just like 50 Cent is the same thing, I make sure that I'm doing something creative. I'm doing something that's going to be high risk. That's why I do crypto, a very volatile market. But I also know that I'm entrepreneurial and I'm not being micromanaged, and that's appeasing to the 8. So for yourself, let's say you're a 23/5. You're very good with people because of the 2. You're good with group work because of the 3. And you're definitely adaptable because of the 5. And you can work within a company or be an entrepreneur and be perfectly fine. Doesn't matter. So you got to look at what your compound number is. Look at the definition of it, especially in Chaldean. It helps a lot. And you'll start to see how these things come together. So to bring everything to, I guess, a whole, first thing you want to look at is what's the general definition of my life path. Then you'll know what the top pinnacle of success is within that life path, what the lesson you're supposed to learn is, and what the most successful people are doing within that life path. You can also Google that, what people are your life path number. Then after that, you want to look at your birth number, look at how that coexists with your life path. After which you want to look at your expression number, look at how all three of these numbers now coexist, but look specifically at the strengths and weaknesses of your expression number and see how you can use it as a bridge to accomplish your life path. Because usually your expression number is like what I like to call your career number. Your expression number is going to grant you the easiest career possible if you lose its skill sets. Then finally, you want to look at the compound numbers that make up your life path. I'd say this is second to the expression number in importance. The compound number that makes up your life path is going to have a lot of importance if you can master its strengths, meaning hone in on those, and negate the weaknesses completely. If you can negate those weaknesses, you're going to do very, very well in life. And trust me, you're not going to have much problems at all, no matter what kind of year you're having. Enemy year, friendly year, does not matter. You'll destroy everything once you actually fully master what I'm teaching here. So my advanced numerology reading will have all of this information broken down. It's my newest service available. I just released it today. But yeah, guys, that pretty much makes up the video for today, guys. That's how you reach the optimum of your life path number. If you have any questions for me, send me a DM. My Instagram is shemsuniverse 8.0, or you can email me at shemsuniverse@hotmail.com. That's it for today, guys. Peace.